Hello, in the news today, the nation's finance directors found guilty of misleading investors with untrue statements in the company's prospectus could be facing jail. Donald Young, Kenneth Roger Moses and Mervyn Doolan will be sentenced in September. The charges laid under the Securities Act carry a maximum penalty of 5 years imprisonment or fines of up to $300,000 plus $10,000 for every day that the offence is continued. Another former director of the failed finance company, John Hochin, pleaded guilty earlier this year. Students and staff at a Taranaki school are being congratulated for how they dealt with a lockdown this afternoon. A woman is in hospital and a man is in custody after an armed offender squad call-out in the settlement of Okato. Coastal Taranaki School Principal Allan Lee says the school practices lockdowns quite regularly, but this is the first time it's had a real one. An Air Force 757 hit by lightning is just one of the victims of wild weather around the country today. The plane landed safely after being hit shortly after takeoff from Auckland's Whenuapai airfield around 9 this morning. It's now undergoing checks to determine whether there's been any further damage. The largest construction site in the country is currently inside the Christchurch red zone. Close to 100 diggers and 80 trucks are working there for 20 different demolition companies. As well as being the largest, Sierra Demolition spokesman Warwick Isaac says it's also the most dangerous. He says there's always the risk of a building collapse from the continuing aftershocks. Doctors are calling for a gradual increase in the retirement age to free up funding for other health initiatives. An editorial in the New Zealand Medical Journal is proposing the top actions needed to address inequalities in health, including making the country smoke-free by 2025. One of the ways suggested to fund this is raising the age of when people can receive their pension. Fresh warnings over toxic sea slugs in Auckland. Auckland Regional Public Health has identified 2 sea slugs on the rocks at Waiheke Island's Matiatia Bay last week. Medical Officer of Health Dr. Simon Baker says it's particularly important with school holidays coming up. Overseas, tourists have crowded into central Florida as NASA forges ahead with plans to launch the Atlantis shuttle on the final mission of the program despite stormy weather. Up to 750,000 people are expected to pack Florida's Space Coast for a glimpse of the last shuttle liftoff set for early tomorrow morning. However, a lightning strike near the launch pad and ominous warnings of clouds and rain moving in from the tropics threaten to delay the shuttle's last ever journey to the orbiting International Space Station. That's all from me for now. Don't forget you can keep up with all the latest news on our website at www.rbg.co.nz, and there are bulletins throughout the evening on the half hour on Shine TV. Pō Marie.